Hello everyone, welcome to this in-depth exploration of Chapter 1, Phonetics and Phonology. I'm Dr. Wassila OULDJI from Abu Bakr Belqaid University, and today we are going on a fascinating journey into the science of speech sounds. By the end of this video, you will not only understand how sounds are produced and perceived, but also how they function systematically in language. So let's get Concerning the objectives, let's outline what you will achieve in this chapter. By the end, you will be able to define core terms like phoneme, allophone, and phonotactics, classify speech sounds based on their articulatory features, where and how they are produced in the vocal tract, differentiate between phonetics analysis, the physical properties of sounds, and phonological analysis, how sounds pattern in language, assess how phonological rules explain sound variation, like why the t in top sounds different from the t in stop is different, and construct phonological rules for unfamiliar languages, a skill essential for linguistic research. Concerning the table of contents, I will start with introduction, then phonetic versus phonology related concepts, then areas of study, and sound patterns, then a conclusion. So, language is built on sounds, and studying these sounds involve two key disciplines, phonetics and phonology. While they overlap, so what we mean by phonetics and phonology. Phonetics is like the physics of speech. It examines how sounds are physically produced, which is articulation, their acoustic properties, sound waves, and how we perceive them, auditory processing. For example, how your tongue moves to produce the sound in sun. Concerning phonology, on the other hand, is the linguistic of sound systems. It studies how sounds function in a language, while some sound differences change meaning, like bat versus pat, while others don't, like the t in top versus stop. For example, in phonology, it's concerns with studying how abstract sound patterns in a language, such as phonemes, which are learned and used by native speakers. So here you have to think of phonetics as building blocks and phonology as the blueprint that organizes these blocks into meaningful patterns. So let's explore some concepts. We have phoneme is the smallest sound unit that can change words' meaning. Allophones variation of phonemes called allophones depend on the context in which the sound is produced. The place of articulation refers to where in the mouth the sound is made. The manner of articulation describes how airflow is controlled to produce sounds. Voicing shows whether the vocal cords vibrate during sound production. Phonotactics are the rules for how sounds can be combined in a language. Also, we have other related concepts, which are syllable structure, looks at how sounds are grouped into syllables. Stress and intonation help convey meaning and emotion by emphasizing certain words or phrases. Morphophonemics studies how sounds change when words are modified. Minimal pairs, words that differ by only one sound, show how specific sounds can alter meaning. Allophonic rules explain how phonemes become different allophones in various contexts. And naturalization happens when sound distinctions are lost in specific situations. Areas of study. Concerning the areas of study, start with the areas of study of phonetics, three domains: articulatory phonetics, acoustic, and auditory. So concerning articulatory, it is a branch of phonetics that focuses on how speech sounds are produced. It examines the physiological processes involved in generating sounds through the coordination of speech organs, such as the tongue, lips, and vocal cords. It is essential for understanding the mechanics of speech production, and also it provides insights into how humans use their vocal apparatus to create distinct sounds which form the basis of spoken language. Concerning to acoustic phonetics, it is a branch of phonetics that studies the physical properties of speech sounds as they travel from the speaker to the listener. It focuses on analyzing sound waves to understand how speech is transmitted and perceived. It is crucial for understanding the transmission of speech sounds. It examines the measurable characteristics of sound waves, which are essential for studying how speech produced and transmitted and heard. Auditory phonetics is a branch that studies how speech sounds are heard and perceived by listeners. It is essential for understanding how the ear and brain processes and interpret speech signals. Concerning the areas of phonology, we have two, the segmental and suprasegmentals. Concerning this segmental phonology, this branch studies discrete sound units known as phonemes, which include consonants, for example, t, d, and p, and vowels like e. It analyzes how these individual sounds form the basis of speech and contribute to meaning. So the difference between p and b in pat and bat changes the word's meaning. Concerning suprasegmental phonology, it studies features like pitch, intonation, stress, tone, rhythm, juncture, and duration, which operate over syllables, words, or phrases. So the key features include stress, altered syllable length, and loudness. For example, in teacher, we have the phoneme t and the vowel, the long e, is stressed and longer than t. Intonation adds melody and distinguishes questions from statements, and juncture affects meaning through sound relationships. For example, nitrate versus nitrate. Concerning the sound patterns, languages constantly evolve to make speech more efficient through assimilation and elision. About assimilation, sounds become more alike. For example, input often sounds like input. The n becomes m before the bilabial p. And elision sounds are omitted for fluency. For example, camera becomes camera. We omit the vowel e. So these are not errors, these are natural adaptations. So, to conclude, phonetics give us the tools to describe sounds, while phonology reveals the rules behind them. Together, they unlock how sounds create meaning across languages. Questions? Email me at my address email. Keep practicing by transcribing words or spotting sound patterns in your daily life. See you next time.